Oh, here it is. All right, you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's lock in. Want to give a shout out to Sub-Zero right there?
It was cold.
Let's check him out real quick.
No, leave him alone. He's laying down. He's cold.
Can they see this guy? Let's see this guy.
You showed him before.
Well, he's getting bigger.
Just leave him alone.
Look at this guy. All right. Welcome, Sub-Zero. Welcome, buddy. All right, here you go.
Poor little guy. Oh, he's cold.
All right, you ready to go, Carla?
Yes.
All right, hello and welcome back to another 5K tennis discussion. Today is Sunday, January the 16th, and we are a couple of hours away from the beginning of the Australian Open for 2022. So we have a lot to talk about today. Real quickly, the $500 competition, again, every major
Just got tougher.
Yeah, definitely just got tougher.
Just got tougher for you guys.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that, but if you have not watched the video, that are the rules and criterion for winning $500 and a separate competition for a fantasy team competition. Watch it if you want to play it. The picks have not been locked in yet. The picks will be done for new players at 6 o'clock p.m. tonight, Central Standard Time. Mm-hmm. That's when the first balls are struck for this Australian Open. So if you want to potentially win $500, and by the way, for the fantasy team competition, there will be two winners regardless. The top two players get $50 each, or their choice of Y-Tech strings, 5K tennis merchandise. I could possibly throw in one of our Mirror Lake shirts, huh? Let me show him one of those, okay? Let me show you one of these shirts, by the way. I like them a lot. So here's the front of one. Mirror Lake Country Club. 5K tennis on the side here. There. And then let's go on the back. Pretty cool. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Carlo, where do you want to start? You're mute today?
Where does everybody want to start? It just seems like the whole talk is just
Novak.
Novak.
And it should be.
Novak. And I saw his nickname that Novaks. I thought, wow. I said, it's so disrespectful.
So cheesy.
I'm like,
stupid.
I'm not a big fan of his, but I just feel like this guy's been disrespected to, I don't know. They've just made him out to be a really, really bad person.
And it's definitely not the case.
It's not fair. I think
it's not the case.
Society has divided us for sure. You know, there's people that are for the vaccine. There's people that are not for the vaccine. And
that's
it's
okay.
a division. I feel like it's almost like you're either black or you're white. And that's how I feel like it is. And that's wrong. You know, we're like living in 2022. I mean, the mentality that people have to judge somebody else because they choose not to put something in their body, that's their choice. They have a choice. Just like you guys have a choice to drink, to smoke, to eat junk food. When you guys go to McDonald's and you get those French fries and you get that hamburger, shame on you because you're becoming a fat ass and you're becoming unhealthy. But does somebody tell you any different? No. When you put all that bad crap, all that sugar, all that candy, all that stuff, do you look at yourself bad? No. But here we are judging a guy because he decided to take a stand and not get the vaccine, so now he's a bad guy. There's so many other bad things that a lot of people do, and we don't judge them that way.
I agree with you.
I'm like,
Totally.
ridiculous, yeah.
We have talked about, especially myself, I love history. It's one of my favorite pastimes, just to continue to learn about history. How many things in mankind's history have been used against just people to separate, to divide and conquer, this-ism, that-ism, whether it's racial injustice or whether it's sexual orientation or whatever, and now we have something else to add to the pot, right? We've got something new. Again, as a reminder, we are not a proponent of for a vaccination or against. We are simply just proponents of
you have a choice.
Having a choice.
Just
yes.
like some people, you know, they celebrate holidays, others don't. Some are Republicans, some are Democrats. Some are liberals. Some of you guys believe in being vegan. Some of you guys just eat meat. Some of you guys don't believe in mixing race. Some of you guys do. Some of people believe in God. Some people believe in millions of gods. It is your choice. That's what makes us humans. We're not pets. You know, we are humans. We have a choice, and that was his choice. And that's how I look at it.
Carla, before we started doing this show now almost 4 years ago, never was really a fan of Djokovic. During this past 4 years, we have had countless people from Serbia, currently in Serbia, and some Serbians that live here. If you missed the show one day when Carla was pulled to the side by a young lady or not a young lady, I hate to say older, but she was a senior citizen that was a bank manager at a local bank and sat her down and poured her heart out to Carla about how great of a man that he is. And I think that at this point in time, he is being used as, I don't know if martyr would be the best word, but I think he's being used as the person to look like a bad guy if he chose not to get vaccinated. Again, it's no problem with being vaccinated or not. That's not why we're bringing this up. But I think as the world moves forward, life does not get any easier. Life is tough, right? Everybody's trying to hate on somebody. Everybody's trying to hurt someone. Everybody's trying to throw someone else under the bus while at the same time making themselves look good. It's really a sad type of thing. Now, Naomi Osaka said this morning in an interview, and I got up at like 4 o'clock this morning because I was so excited about coming back to Mirror Lake today. I couldn't sleep. I just got up and I was ready. And I had a chance to read an article where Naomi Osaka quoted this, and I want in comments for all of you to whether tell me you agree or disagree with it, or whether or not you could give a shit. You know, my favorite acronym is WOOGAS, pronounced WOOGAS, WOOGAS, but it's actually an acronym for WGAS, which stands for who gives a shit. Okay, so the comment that she made was, and I'm quoting, "It sucks." This is Osaka talking. "It sucks." You know, she talks like a little whiner sometimes. Anyway, that's just her. It sucks that some people will remember Novak Djokovic this way. What is she saying? That everyone, including herself, think really badly of Novak Djokovic? Is this a question that should be cup half empty or cup half full? I guarantee you that, yes, there's a large percentage of people that think he's an asshole for not getting vaccinated, but at the same point in time, there's also a large portion of people that would agree and go the other way, correct?
Yeah. I got to give it to Kyrgios. Kyrgios, we know, is for the vaccination. He said it himself. He's in Australia. His quote is that it pisses me off how Tsitsipas and Nadal are like, everybody's got their opinion. And I understand that Nadal and Tsitsipas have to speak out because they are ass. But we're only treating him like Novak Djokovic, not like a human now. Imagine how he's feeling. He probably just wants a bit of support from other players. He's getting it from me. Like, what the F? You know, Nadal, I love Nadal, but in this instance, I have to tell Nadal, shut up. You know, all Nadal has said, well, that's all we've talked about is Novak. If the tournament, you know, if he gets to play, well, great. But if it continues without him, then it'll be, you know, even better. Whatever. Just shut up, Nadal. And Tsitsipas, another one with a bathroom who's changed the whole, you know, I can't stand Tsitsipas now. Every time I see that guy, I hope he loses. Every single time. He's become my least favorite tennis player. As a matter of fact, I like Puppy Hater better than Tsitsipas. Just saying. And
for anybody that doesn't know who Puppy Hater is, that may be tuning in for the first time or something, Puppy Hater is the name for Sasha or Alexander Zverev because he fired Lindell, and one of the reasons why he fired him is because he took his puppy onto the practice court, right? That's why she calls him Puppy Hater.
But Tsitsipas is just a dumbass, honestly. What are you gonna call him, sissy ass?
This is how I spell Stefanos sissy. Here we go. Okay, Tsitsipas. There you go. You got it. Okay. Does anyone really particularly care what Naomi Osaka thinks?
I know. I could go back into the quote, but basically, he's tired of hearing. Nadal is tired of hearing. He should have just shut up and supported Djokovic. Just Djokovic would support him. You know, what about when the whole steroid thing was happening? You know, my point. I made a post on Facebook. I showed a picture. Where's the picture that I showed? And I put it on, you know, because usually I don't post things on social media, but I felt like, geez, you know, this is ridiculous. I'm like, you know, I'm not even the biggest fan of Djokovic, but this is just ridiculous.
But now let's just be clear. You're not necessarily his biggest fan on the tennis court, but I think you do admire him for him standing up for himself. This is a picture that someone put, and I'm sure you guys seen it on social media. I'm sure everyone's seen it, you know. And that's how I feel. I mean, that picture basically portrays the Djokovic
reality.
Against the world.
Basically, it does. You know, unless you're Serbian or you've been in a communist country or in a country that's been torn by war, you would understand him. If not, then you don't understand him. So I put that picture and I said, basically this picture sums it up. I'm not the biggest Novak fan, but he deserves respect. Lots of things were done wrong in Australia. Guess they don't want him passing 20. I wonder if it was Federer or Nadal, would they receive the same treatment? Australian Open will have an asterisk for the winner. That's what I put. And a lot of people make comments on this, you know?
Yeah, I didn't even read that. What are some of the comments that you heard? But do you think that this Australian Open, for whoever will be crowned the winner, kind of synonymous with the U.S. Open with the accidental throat hack by the lady who couldn't stick and move and duck the incoming ball? But look, there has been relentless attempts to hinder Novak Djokovic's movement moving forward, right?
Yes.
And to attaining this 21. I don't know what the French Open, i.e.
No, they don't require.
I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what Roland Garros's rules are going to be. But as long as he's allowed in France, and I'm sure that he will be, I have a really good idea. He's going to kick Nadal's ass. He's going to make him look really rough out there. For Rafael Nadal to even open up his mouth.
I would have said, hey, I don't want to make a comment. He would say, you know, like Barty said. Barty said it best. It's not my place to make a comment about that. You know, I'm not going to talk about people's medical, medical history, medical records, whatever. She says, not for me to say.
By the way, I'm scratching off what I wanted to bring up, and I forgot the shout out section. Just real quickly, a shout out number one to Gene Swart in South Africa and Thomas Chi in Canada. They will both be doing all the scoring for the fantasy teams. By the way, I am keeping up with those that are playing for the $500. I have written all the teams down. I have at this point, I think 7 or 8. I have, and there's more, but I have Concert Master, Gene Swart, Thomas Chi, Prinkana Chadha, Jose P, Canadian tennis fan, and Sunil. I'm still waiting on Casper, aka Dead Seville, who's a 4-time major winner here on this channel. No, 3. He's won 3 majors because we've sent him. Anyway, but a shout out to those two for sure, no doubt. Also, a shout out to my sister. And if life is how I believe it, eternal life, as long as you're a good person, then I will see her again. She passed away recently fighting breast cancer. Much love. Let's go. Come on. And also to Novak Djokovic himself. There's a lot of Serbian viewers that watch this channel, whether they watch it live or they're 6 hours ahead of us or 7 hours ahead of us, they watch it later. Share our thoughts with this young man. He deserves it. He has been treated like an actual piece of garbage. And yes, people will say, well, he lied about this and lied about that. He's one guy.
Well, my thing is, why let him?
He's one guy. He has a whole team of publicists and stuff.
Why give him permission? You should have said, no, don't come. You're not allowed. You're not exempt. Even if you had the coronavirus, you're not exempt from it.
Let's go, Novak. I hope you beat the brakes off of Rafael Nadal and hopefully a final straight sets like he did him. Didn't Nadal beat Djokovic in a final there one time, like 1-2-2 or something, like really badly?
Down under.
What? What am I looking at?
What is that down under the chair? Anyways.
I don't know. Go ahead.
Yes, I did see the news. Chris Evert diagnosed with ovarian cancer. She's in her 60s. Yeah, that's sad. A lot of people who are getting cancer. Apparently she's getting treatments and stuff, so that's good. I don't know what's bigger news, Chris Evert or Djokovic.
Okay.
Both are sad situations.
Well, yeah, and all due
situations.
Respect to Chris Evert, may God bless her for sure. I'm not a big fan of her commentary because she acts so snooty. Sometimes it almost seems like her nose is stuck up in the clouds and everybody else is underneath the ground. Mm-hmm. Anyway, but I think it's stage 1, so I think it's treatable. Yeah. My sister was battling stage 4. But either way, once cancer spreads, it's really hard to get under control. So all my not animosity, I think that's the wrong word, but all my disdain for Chris Evert. She's human, yes. Exactly. She's human. So may God bless her for sure. Cancer is no joke.
Let me read some comments, I guess, that some people left on my post,
Let's go. Let's read some comments.
Let's see. And these are some people that don't even watch or show, and some that do. That racket keeps getting in the way. Florence said, yes, I'm so sad what they did to him. This guy named Frederick Hindo, I don't know who he is. He said, from what my understanding is that Novak was dishonest on his papers, claiming he was vaccinated when he just tested positive for COVID in December,
Okay,
and figure
so-
that it counts as the antibodies last 90 days. I asked, he never said vaccinated. What he means was that he said he had COVID, and you supposedly have antibodies.
Exactly. He didn't. Yeah. It wasn't some. It wasn't some. Conspiracy to alter some piece of paper. Now, when I was a boy, we would go to camps, like tennis camps, right? And we would sit around where we would spend the night. By the way, so we'd spend the night and stay overnight and stay for a couple of weeks. So we would always play this game, and it was called Pass It Around the Fire. And you would have a big room full of people, boys and girls, and they would sit around each other in a circle. And one of the camp counselors would go up to one of the children and would whisper something in that child's ear. And they would, so no one else could hear it. And then that child would have to whisper it into the person to the right of their ear. And it would have to go all the way around the circle and come back to the person sitting just next to the person that heard it first. And the moral of the story is once it's passed around so many people, how does it come back, right? Let's just say the counselor whispered in someone's ear, John Doe went to the trash can to take out the trash. Well, it would go all the way around the fire and come back like something a purple people eater from Mars, took his head off and, threw it in the trash can. It was night and day different. So the media has a really good way of creating a right and a left. In this case, a pro-Novak or a non-pro-Novak. However, the difference here is I have read nothing, absolutely zero in the media currently that is pro-Novak at all. It is all Novak bashing. We will give him props here.
Didn't
Aaron Rodgers was one that did the same thing. Kyrie Irving, that plays for the Brooklyn Nets.
It's not all over the place.
It's not all over the place, right? So we're hating on him. Aaron Rodgers, where is he from? The U.S. Where's Kyrie Irving from? Here, U.S. Do we hear any disdain about them, or is it all, hey, good for them, But now that it's Novak Djokovic, who is from the tiny country of Serbia, that has a history of bombed out swimming pools where a lot of these people trained during the Kosovo and Bosnian Serb conflict when Clinton was in office.
Let me read another comment.
Look, man, this guy doesn't deserve this. And look, are we perfect? Is every media person, is every journalist, is every non-Djokovic fan a perfect person yourself? Are you telling me the people that are hating on him that you never did anything maybe a little bit off? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Soldier up.
Joshua Keynes, I don't know who this is, said on my thread, he said, don't be sad for him. Be sad for the people of Australia. That they live under a tyrannical government that thinks a vaccine that neither vaccinates or stops the transmission must be administered to 100% of the population.
Or else.
To stop a virus. Fools.
Yeah, I mean.
Then we have another one that was against Djokovic. Said, contrary, they gave him too much respect. A lesser player would have been deported immediately. Glenn Garden said, nah, I don't think it's political. Countries have rules. Would have been nice for him to be there, but he had to follow their rules.
There's an old saying, a picture paints 1,000 words, something like that. You've heard this before? Mm-hmm. There was a picture I saw this morning driving here to come teach for today. By the way, it's really chilly today here in Alabama. I think the high is like 42. Mm-hmm. A shout out to Noelle that was just out here that had our first lesson of the day. She did good. Mm-hmm. But the old saying, a picture paints 1,000 words. There was a picture that I saw where Novak Djokovic was in the airport in Australia being escorted by border agents out to his airplane. Now, I'm not going to get into my personal story. I definitely won't do that. I've done it before. If you followed the show, you know my story.
They have to escort you.
However, are you telling me that Novak Djokovic needs 2 security guards standing next to him on either side walking out of the building for this? Made him look awful, made him look like a criminal, made him look like a piece of shit. Ultimately, if you are sympathetic to his beliefs, now, correct me if I'm wrong, those of you in Serbia, Dusan, and a lot of you others, I think that Djokovic is like an orthodox, like a very conservative type of Christian, I think. I don't know how that works, but I think that his beliefs have something to do with that.
Probably.
Let's look at Bob Marley. I love Bob Marley, the reggae musician. Love Bob Marley a lot. So he died of tuberculosis, right? So he had an infection in his foot, and the tuberculosis got out of hand, but he refused treatment until the very end because his Rastafarian beliefs kept that from him doing so, and it cost him his life, right? Mm-hmm. I think Djokovic has some type of indigenous belief And I don't know how that works. Only you guys will know that and gals there, right?
Mhm.
But I think there is some type of dynamic religious background that goes along with his beliefs as well. So who is, okay, I'm going to shut up. We'll take some comments live and not from Facebook last night. But there has to be some type of sympathy for the man. There has to be. And if not, everyone that does it, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, hey, am I perfect? Have I ever done anything wrong? Have I ever stretched the truth? Have I ever told someone a story that wasn't 100% true? And then ask yourself the same question. And then if you can't ask yourself the same question, then get lost. That's all I'm saying. Give the man a shot.
All right, so let's go back to some comments.
And beat the brakes off of Nadal and Roland Garros. Badly.
So Ryan says, Novak has made a legacy long before this. He should be remembered for his accomplishment on the court. Love him or hate him, the man is the best to have ever touched a racket.
Agreed. And Ryan, much love to you. What's up, Ryan? Let's go. Ryan is a very objective teacher. He's a teacher, and Ryan is one of the people that will just, believe me, he will be very objective about it. And I don't think that Ryan is 100% big-time Djokovic fan either.
No, I'm not either, and I'm defending him. Carol says, rules are rules. But Nole was granted to play at the Australian Open. Australian rules are stupid. My thing is, here they are, all these people are getting vaccinated. So why are you still having cases if you're vaccinated?
Well, yeah, and then
why do we still have cases if people are getting vaccinated? Why does it keep getting worse? Everybody got vaccinated for the first one. Now it's the second one. Now a third one's coming. Not a fourth. That's why I got into my dad today, had a little argument. I'm like, you're getting vaccinated. Everybody's getting vaccinated. We got a booster shot for this booster. And more things keep coming out. So obviously we're not beating this with the vaccine. There's got to be something else for it. I mean, I'm going out of the what.
Yeah.
But if everybody's vaccinated, then nobody would be getting sick, right?
Yeah, I mean.
And supposedly here, I saw 97, but there's still people that are vaccinated still getting sick, right?
Yeah, I mean, why would you?
So we're guessing.
Yeah.
We're guessing. We don't know then.
Exactly. I mean, think about it
We're guessing.
Just think about
because
it.
Because if the vaccine was 100%, then no one would get sick.
Yeah, I mean, when we're born here in the U.S., what are some of the vaccinations? We have 5 children, and dumb me for not knowing what vaccinations we get. But don't we get like polio and measles and yellow fever and all this stuff when we're very young? And so therefore, don't we do that when we're young?
So Waynham Chiz is supposed to reduce the risk of hospitalization and death, but it's still happening, Waynham.
Well, that's
it's
okay. So why would you care if I get hospitalized? Why is it a big deal to you? And if you're vaccinated, then hey, then you don't have to worry about getting hospitalized. Why would you care whether or not I go to the hospital? That's my choice. Period.
Everybody's so worried about the vaccination. Hey guys, worry about the food you put in your mouth. Worry about that, because cancer comes from the shit you eat. Cancer comes from the bullshit you put on. Think about it.
I think it's hilarious when someone's like, hey, I just got vaccinated, you better do too, or you can't come in my house.
And then
they're smoking a cigarette.
They're smoking a cigarette and they're like overweight. And you're like,
he's a fat ass and smoking a cigarette and's got a can of whiskey in his hand, but yet he's telling us to get vaccinated. I don't get it. Again, once again, this isn't.
I'm just saying.
We're not
let's
saying,
think logical here.
Yeah, we're not saying we're against it or for it, but we're just saying if you're vaccinated, which we may or may not be, we're not taking sides here. But the fact of the matter is, if you're vaccinated for the measles and I'm vaccinated for the measles, we don't have to worry about getting the measles. But we can have 27 booster shots in this situation, and we're still worried about getting sick. And ultimately, if I get sick and you're vaccinated and don't, then that's my problem. And that's what Djokovic is standing up for. He's standing up for the mindset is you can't force me to stick metal in my arm. And that's his choice. Does that make him a bad guy that needs to be escorted out of Australia by security guards?
I understand when it's mandatory. Military is mandatory. Medical field is mandatory. Totally understand it. Totally get it.
Our children are military. They got vaccines. My father, 84 years old, retired physician, coach, doctor, got vaccinated. It's not, the point is not saying yay or nay, but the point is if you're vaccinated, then why are you worried about me?
He's agreeing.
Right? Don't worry about me. Worry about yourself. And if you're morbidly obese, if you have a cigarette in your hand, or if you got a bottle of whiskey in your hand, do me a favor and don't try to tell me how to be healthy, please, because you're being a hypocrite.
Sandra said, guys, look, he won at first trial, and even the Judge Kelly said that he had all the papers sent to Australia, and now he's deported because he is a hero of freedom of choice.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
And Flo says, so everyone in Australia not vaccinated is going to jail?
Good point. I never thought about
Michael
that.
Walker, so sorry about your uncle. My uncle died too from COVID as well. I mean, I'm not saying that is not.
Exactly.
I mean, my uncle was younger than 67. I'm not saying that. But the topic here is, if we are all vaccinated, then why are we still dying?
Well, I think even further than that, more acutely, is if you're vaccinated, why in the hell are you worried about if I am or not? You're fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
If someone comes near me with the measles, why am I? I'm not going to worry about it. I'm vaccinated. Cool. Give me a hug. Give me a
says in
kiss.
Australia, 95% are vaccinated every day. They have 150,000 infected. Ryan Mesa said vaccine allegedly keeps people from getting us sick. Definitely doesn't keep people from catching it. Some people I know have been vaccinated and caught it more than once. It's very unclear. Me too.
Exactly.
I know a lot of people who've done everything by the book, protect themselves, and they get really, really, really sick.
I agree.
Sick. Let's see. From other Aussie, unvaccinated cannot work. Okay. Glowfee says 1 year from today, no one will care about this saga, and Novak will hold a slam record.
Let's go. Let's go.
Look up.
Who said that?
Kofi.
Well, that's a great comment. But I don't know what the future will bring, and nor do we have a crystal ball. But the way that Djokovic was handled is hideous. It's a really bad look. Look, I do understand one thing. I do understand that Djokovic is from Serbia, we're from the United States, and that's Australia. Mm-hmm. They have their own rules. I get it. I get it. You know, that's their rules. Blah blah blah. Okay. But hold on. The really unclear thing is you have a federal judge within that system that said it's okay, but then you have someone else.
That's the problem.
It's so shady.
They're not on the same page. Obviously, they're not thinking the same. Yeah, I think again, if they told him yes, you can come. No, then now you can't when you got there. And then yes, and then no, now you're deported.
It's like, what the hell?
Which one is it? You should have told the guy, and I would have been fine with that. All tennis players, ATP, WTA Tour, must be vaccinated. That should be the rule.
And he would have never showed up.
That must be the rule. State it. Say all professional tennis players must be vaccinated. And this would stop this whole circus.
Be done.
That's it.
But instead,
no exceptions.
Yeah, but instead,
no exceptions. No medical exceptions. You must be vaccinated. And leave it at that.
But instead, there was vague criterion for coming in, right? Mm-hmm. Here he comes, and all of a sudden, he is the centerpiece for an absolutely stonewalling situation, right? Now, I do have an issue with some people that are YouTubers, and I won't go any further than that get on and spend 12 hours a day doing videos acting like they really give a shit. Wake up, man. These are the people that simply get you to click and get their little Google Ads payments. Give me a freaking break. Learn how to be a soldier and at least stand up for what you believe in and not believe in, and learn how to not kiss everyone's ass and be a soldier. That's all I got to say about that.
I mean,
a bunch of little sissy girls,
I see some of you
man.
guys agree with me.
Sissies.
I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, the rule is simple. You know, like military. They tell you get vaccinated or you're out. And pretty simple. It's a pretty simple rule, and that's what they should do in tennis. In every sport. If you don't want to create this problem, make the rule. And there's no exceptions. There should be no medical exceptions. And we stop this whole thing. And then Novak will have to make a choice, right? He will either continue playing tennis or not. Professionally. If they don't give him a choice. You see what I'm saying?
That statement in of itself almost made me speechless for a minute.
But that's the choice. You see what I'm saying? And other things, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to keep working, then you have to get vaccinated. There's no way around it.
Well, isn't that communism? Isn't that tyranny? Didn't someone just make that same statement?
But it makes it simple, Justin. And we wouldn't have seen this. They shouldn't have told the poor guy, yes, you can come play. And then do this whole thing to him and send him back.
Didn't someone just mention in a comment that in Australia, if you are not, and this is from an Australian, I'm not pretending to be like some people do. Did they not just make a comment that if you are quote unquote not vaccinated, you can't work? So that's telling people where you live with that if you don't do what we tell you to do, then you're done, because if you don't work, you can't pay your bills. And I think that is wrong. That's Saddam Hussein. That's the guy that runs China.
Yes, I agree with that, but I'm saying though, why make this poor guy have hope, thinking he's gonna play, and then put him through a trial, and then another trial, let him practice, because the draw came out, and Novak was number one. Why all that? That it's just important.
And here's the thing too, Rafael Nadal, the at this point, the guy that bitched and ran his mouth like a little sissy girl. There's a lucky loser that took Djokovic's spot.
And who knows who that person is?
Doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
A lucky loser will get it. Generally, it's someone that lost in the last round of qualifying. By the way, so the LL, the lucky loser, is generally someone that made it to the third day of qualies. And lost a very close match or something, right? Mm-hmm. So Rafael Nadal's little bitch ass, excuse my language.
Specifically said Rafa alone.
Little Rafael Nadal's, ran his little mouth, and you know what? His whole section of the draw now is Djokovic less. So his draw opened up for him. Now let me ask you a question with that said. Mm-hmm. Did the draw really open up for Rafael Nadal because of Djokovic being out? Or was it that Rafael Nadal has only won this tournament, once? He's won the Australian Open once? Mm-hmm. Or does it even matter because Nadal's not going to make it to the second week or the quarterfinals anyway? I personally don't think Rafa makes it to the quarterfinals. Maybe a quarterfinal, but I definitely don't think he makes the semis. I do think that this Australian Open with Novak Djokovic gone is making a lot of people, in other words, the draw is 128 men, 128 women. There are 127 men that are way hungrier now than when they first got to Australia, because now they're not saying, well, oh shit, I can beat everybody or have a chance against everybody except Djokovic. Now he's gone. I don't think the likes of Zverev wins it. I don't think Medvedev wins it. Everybody on the fantasy picks right now are picking those two. I don't believe Medvedev or Zverev will win it. I think because Djokovic is gone, the overall hunger is much hungrier, let's go, than it was prior to, and I really feel like a new major champion will emerge here. Thoughts?
I think so too.
Thoughts?
I won't be rooting for Nadal.
I won't either.
I won't be rooting for Zverev nor Medvedev.
Call me crazy.
I'm definitely not sissy pass.
Yeah, sissy.
I'd be rooting for someone like Alcaraz.
He's too young.
I'm just saying. I'm giving you an example of somebody young. Hey, why not Iron Man? Hell,
look,
somebody like that.
I think his sportsmanship sucks, but I'm gonna actually root for Nick Kyrgios because because he was the only person that stood up for Novak Djokovic. The only person, the person that's always...
Not only him, Pospisil.
We'll go Pospisil. Let's go.
Isner even said Novak should win and just leave the country after that.
Let's go, Isner. Come on. Mm-hmm. Let's get down. Anyway, you can't tell me that this tournament now isn't a circus act. It's a freaking circus. It's a sideshow. It's a freak show because of this. And we're supposed to sit back and laugh it up and be so happy about the new men's champion when no one really earned it. No one battled the 3-time in a row defending champion. He won it 3 times in a row, right? And has won it 9 times. And you're going to have him escorted out of the airport like some 2-bit crook. Wake up.
Again, if this was Federer or Nadal who decided not to get vaccinated, who decided to get that medical exemption, do you think we would be treating them?
Oh no, that wouldn't be a problem at all.
Honestly.
Let's talk about Andy Murray for a second. Andy Murray comes in as a wild card.
Let's go Andy Murray.
Let's go Murray, right? Why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though he was against Novak.
That's okay. Neither here nor there. So does Andy Murray have the same chance at winning this Australian Open if he can remain healthy? The hip. Does he have the same chance of winning the Australian Open as Rafael Nadal does? Murray's been hot, right? He's got the experience. He's won 3 majors, 2 Wimbledons, 1 US. Or was that one of them? Mm-hmm. He has what it takes if he can stay healthy. Do you think Nadal? Here's a question, and put it in comments. With a healthy Murray through 7 matches, okay, a major, 2 weeks. If Murray can stay healthy for 2 weeks, and that's not a question, does Murray have as good as a chance to win the Australian Open as Nadal does?
Sure.
I think so.
Nadal hasn't looked impressive on hardcourt. I mean, he's been playing some warm-up stuff, but to me,
come on.
I was not.
And by the way, Robert Frush out there, what's up? He just came home from a week away. Robert Frush told us about a week ago he was liking Maxime Cressy, the Frenchman, the 6'6" Frenchman, because he was playing some good tennis in the warm-ups. Cressy, doesn't he play Opelka or Isner in the first round?
Oh, Isner, yes.
Cressy's going down. Cressy is going down. And maybe not. Mm-hmm. Maybe not. But I don't know. I'd be careful.
Murray plays Bashvili in the first round. That's true.
That's okay. I think
that's very true.
I think Murray will beat Bashvili.
I have cold here. You must have turned off the heater.
I'll turn the heat back on. There was a point in time where I told everyone on this show 3-4 years ago, when Vasilashvili was, doing pretty well, I used to say Vasilashvili would be a top 5 player. And then he ended up in court for domestic issues. And then I backed off. But look, Ivor Savage out there, by the way, the owner and CEO of YTech Strings, personal friend, a very good coach, good motivator. He used to say that he thought Vasilashvili would be up there. So I'm not the only one that had those sentiments.
Who wins on the women's side? Alex PR, I don't know. They're in the same boat. The men and the women are really on the same boat.
I'm going to take
good
Osaka.
luck to you guys.
Osaka.
Honestly, I'm not even doing the draw. I didn't even bother really looking at it. I really don't care for it. I'm not because Novak's. I just don't. I don't know. This whole thing kind of left a sour taste in my mouth. So I'm not. I mean, Osaka, I think will win the women. That's who I chose. Men, I don't care who wins. Honestly.
Yeah.
I really don't care who wins. Hopefully, somebody that's never won a slam gets a chance to win one here, right?
And I think it'll happen.
Because I would like somebody like, Medvedev earned his U.S. Open.
Let's go, Casper Ruud. Let's go, Casper Ruud.
Not Casper.
Let's go.
He earned his U.S. Open. He beat Novak. But I would like to see somebody else, especially at the Australian Open, that they would have earned it against someone who's won it 9 times. And therefore, I would like to see somebody that's never won a slam win it.
I agree with you.
There's
40 people watching live right now. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, by the way. And don't forget, if you want to win $500 or $50 in 2 separate competitions, subscribe and watch the rules video for our fantasy teams and $500 cash giveaway. It is right here on the 5K Tennis channel, which we call your channel because.
People said I'll watch Netflix instead.
All right, exactly.
But Dosa, come on, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, but Dosa's pretty. Not that pretty.
Come on, man. Any of the girls could win. I mean, realistically, Osaka, Barty, those would be the top 2. But Dosa, that's like saying Muguruza. Come on, man.
Okay. All right, look. All right, so let me read this real quick. All right, so listen to this. So as of right now, before we started this show, I had 9 people that turned in their predictions for $500. So
who cares? She's number 6. Go ahead.
So to finish, to win $500, you have to predict the men's final and the women's final, and then who wins it. Let me tell you who some of these players have picked. Court Master or Concert Master chose the following: Medvedev defeats Zverev and Barty defeats Kontaveit. Gene Swart: Barty defeats Kontaveit and Zverev defeats Medvedev. Thomas Chi: what's up? Medvedev defeats Zverev and Barty defeats Muguruza. Pirchana Chadha: Nadal defeats Medvedev and Kontaveit defeats Barty. Jose P: Medvedev defeats Zverev and Osaka defeats Swiatek. Possible. Canadian tennis fan: Barty defeats Muguruza and Medvedev defeats Zverev. Sunil: Barty defeats Swiatek and Zverev defeats Medvedev. So everyone thinks, at least here, that Zverev and Medvedev are certainty.
Because that's obvious, right?
It's not obvious, though.
No, but that's like anybody that, they're like, well, obviously, if Djokovic is not playing, then this would be the most obvious.
Look, if your players that you're predicting have nicknames like Puppy Hater or the Human Linguini Noodle, I don't think that they have a shot at winning. Forget about their record, but just look at their nicknames, right? Mm-hmm. Linguini Noodle, he got the U.S. Open, but that's okay. He's not going to win this one. Puppy Hater, he hates puppies. Just karma's going to catch him. So there's no. I mean, look, I think there's a new champion of the Australian Open this year simply because Novak is there. Look, if you're playing in a tournament with Novak Djokovic in it, you're walking through the whole tournament thinking, I can win against anybody except Novak, right? Mm-hmm. And he's not there. So everyone has more gusto. Come on, right? So I think you're going to get a new champion. Is this the first major in the past 20 years that there hasn't been one of the big 3 playing in it?
Nadal's playing.
What besides? Well, I guess that came out wrong.
Yeah, that came out wrong.
But is Nadal still considered that elite player? Didn't he just get beaten in his warm-up tournament by?
It's a warm-up tournament though. That doesn't. But I don't think he looks solid. He just doesn't look that convincing to me. Not right now. He doesn't. He just doesn't look that convincing. But who knows?
All right, comments.
I do miss Serena Venus playing, Alex. Yeah. Why I say Badosa? Why do I say Badosa, Darren? Because, Badosa is like any other player. Honestly, there's nothing spectacular there that I can say. She could lose. In the first round, she could lose in the second round. She's not dominant. She's not a Serena. She's not a Venus. She's not an Osaka. She's not a Barty. Big deal, she's number 6. You had Safina, who was number 1 and could never win a slam. Look at Wozniacki, how long it took her to win. Anyone is beatable. Anybody in the women's tour right now is beatable unless you have weapons which means a serve, and you can put the ball away, not just hit the ball back 20 times. Just saying, you know, I don't see Badosa winning that. I almost bet, actually, I bet with you a shirt that she won't win.
Well,
with Darren LeBeau, I bet you.
Okay, so Darren,
hey, I bet you $20 she won't win.
Yeah, but you can't take a one-sided bet. If you're willing to put up a shirt or $20, then he needs to put something
Darren,
up
put
too.
up something. Let's go. Put up something.
That who Badosa's gonna win?
Yeah.
Darren Cahill. Cahill. LeBeau. I was thinking Cahill. LeBeau, bro, the trick shot master yourself. Come on, bro. Think about it. You're an incredible tennis player. You've walked on the grounds of Wimbledon and lived near there. Awesome dude. Love you, really. I really do. I just want to give you a hug sometimes for real. But come on, man. Badosa winning this tournament? She's not spectacular.
Okay, we bet $20?
Let's go, LeBeau.
Let's go.
Let's go.
You got it down.
That's easy money,
easy
bro.
Easy money, thank you. I can go buy myself a pair of Lululemon shorts.
Yes, and we get juice on that. We're the bookies. We took the bet, so you got to pay $2 juice. You're paying juice on that. So if you lose, you owe us 22. And if we lose, we owe you 22. I want juice on that.
Ryan said at this point for the men, I'll pick Mickey Mouse versus Woody Wood.
Let's go.
In the final. But neither will win due to an earthquake issued by the Australian government.
Ryan, don't forget to get your picks in, Ryan. There is no reason why you're not at least pencil whipping a fantasy team and predicting your finals.
Okay.
Huh?
Just so you know time because it listens at 12.
Oh, 12:30. Okay.
How will Layla do? Hey, she could do
Fernandez
well.
could do well.
Could do well.
Let's go, Layla. Let's go. Raducanu who? Raducanu who? Who is Raducanu who? Andreescu who?
What?
Look, I don't see.
Michael Walker is on that bandwagon. I know because it's his girl, but
man,
she's going. No, she's going down to Sloane Stevens, who's married.
Raducanu doesn't play Sloane Stevens in the first round. I think it'd be a potential second round matchup, right?
No, it's the first round.
Sloane Stevens isn't playing Raducanu in the first round.
Guys, correct me, please. Correct me, guys.
If Sloane Stevens is playing Raducanu in the first round, Sloane Stevens beats her in straight sets.
Correct me. Gene Schwartz, you're out there. You said Raducanu will probably get bagel and breadstick. Correct me out there. Is she playing? I thought she was playing Sloane Stevens first round.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen my rant about me going off on Raducanu, just go to our video list and just look down. I put it in the title, Raducanu. Anyway, we have a lesson starting in 15 minutes.
Yeah, I gotta go.
And I lost track of time. We will do.
She's playing first round.
Okay, awesome. Let's go, Sloane Stevens. She is. If it wasn't for I met Carla halfway through Sloane Stevens and I's relationship. So Sloane Stevens and I were really close, really tight. We had a long relationship, and then I met Carla, and I had to tell Sloane that I'm gonna go with this one.
Why is Katie paying?
I'm just kidding. Okay. Anyway, we will. The matches start tonight at 6:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. It is now 12:15 here Central Standard Time. So in about 5 hours and 45 minutes. If you have any interest to win $500 simply by predicting the men's final, the women's final, and both winners, then make sure you hit the subscribe button and put those comments on that video with the instructions. And you can see that by looking through the playlist. If you want to win $50 and two $50 winners on the fantasy teams, watch the same video and put your fantasy teams down in the corresponding video. All those rules are there in our fantasy team and $500 cash giveaway video we did not long ago. Watch that. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the like button, by the way. Hey, we're not mommy's house with all our bills paid doing this. We work our ass off and are about to go work our ass off more. And believe me, we ain't rich. So hit a thumbs up for that. All right. Anyway, we will see you guys tomorrow, I think, because it's the day we give ourselves off. So we give ourselves one day off to go grocery shopping and so forth.
It's cold, Ryan. It's cold.
And that's tomorrow. So tomorrow night, we could probably do a show live at our actual studio in our house, right?
Alrighty.
All right. Yeah. Adios. Let's go. Vamos. Let's get down. Let's go. Come on.
I'm cold.
This Australian Open has an asterisk, and you know it.
Cold.
Peace.
So cold.